The caller's name was Mike, and we do appreciate your call. It says, if no God, how can we comfort a bereaved person or explain spiritual feelings such as music, art, etc.?
Without religion.
Did a great job there.
Thanks, man.
Paraphrasing into one little short whiteboard there. And, go ahead, Joe.
Well, there's a whole lot of great things that can be done without religion being involved at all. Bereaving a sick relative or friend, making music, art, doing beautiful things, helping out those who are less fortunate, visiting a sick friend. None of those things require religion. I find it amazing that people continue to think that because atheists don't have religion, they can't do those things, and that therefore must be emotionless, automatons, people who don't really care much about society or just overly depressed people. I like to say, first off, I'm having a great time with life.
Yes.
And we have a community of friends here. We help each other out when there are problems, and we've been together a couple of years. It's still kind of new.
Yes.
But as far as a group of friends who you can come and talk to, especially about problems with religion that many religionists don't want to hear about, or problems in other areas that, religionists might have a problem with because it deals with reality. And, you can come and talk to your atheist friends in the Atheist Community of Austin.
Also, I'd like to add something about that. Human beings are social primates, along with chimpanzees and bonobos and gorillas. And you can see in chimpanzee societies, you can see a lot of the same emotional things that we see in humans. So the idea of comforting somebody who's sick, comforting somebody who's had somebody die in their family, that's not something that's even confined to this species.
Mm-hmm.
And so, unless, of course, there's somebody who would like to claim that chimpanzees are also Christians, that makes it pretty absurd to think that, no insult to the chimpanzees watching.
Here go the phones. Here go the phones.
Here the phones. Good. They're going to light up here now. We go. All right, we got some calls. We don't have much time. We got some calls coming in now. But those are just primate behaviors, and that's the normal part. We're a social primate where we've evolved to live in social groups and depend upon each other for the simple reason that none of us would be able to make it in the natural world on our own any more than a chimp could. And so we depend upon these things, and natural selection has, over millions of years, has selected for those of us, of our ancestors, who were best adapted to living in social groups. Mm-hmm. And so that answers a lot of the questions about where our emotional things come from. So yes, atheists are not emotionless automatons, but we just separate that from, fantasy.
And then you can also see where morality came through the evolutionary process.
That's right.
If you're accepted in the group, then your genes are going to be propagated along. Where back then they didn't, way before we had judges and lawyers, whatever. If you did anything to offend the herd or the tribe or whatever,
right.
You were shunned from there. So your genes were no longer part of the group.
That's exactly right.
So it And morality, you don't need religion for morality. It comes natural.
And the fact that there's so many different religions out there that are mutually exclusive,
yes.
that are fully functioning societies that have people that learn to cooperate with each other, show that there's none of them that could be real.
Yeah.